Hey there Wargamers, this is Justin from Ramp Services with this week's X-Wing Wednesday video. In this video we're going to be discussing Kavil, one of my favorite ships for the Scum. Now I've got a new build that I'm working on, and that's why I'm doing another review for him, and here are the upgrades that in particular that make him work. So first of all, we're going to discuss Kavil's pilot for any of you who aren't familiar. Kavil comes in with a 7 pilot skill, it costs 24 points, standard stat line for a Y-Wing to attack, 1 evade, 5 hull, 3 shields. And the big thing for Kavil that makes him fantastic is his pilot ability. When attacking a ship outside your firing arc, roll 1 additional attack die. That's fantastic. Considering that twin laser turrets are one of the best upgrades in the game, it screams Kavil all over it. Being able to fire with a gun that now, outside of his primary arc, is rolling 4 attack dice, and you get to shoot that twice in each turn, is fantastic. It requires some fancy flying on Kavil's part to keep them outside of your front arc and keep them outside of range 1, but if you can do it, his odds of hitting are huge. This guy is a monster. He only maxes out at 2 damage a turn this way, but he's an absolute beast for plinking away and getting consistent damage. And that's why this build I'm going to be discussing is so huge. So now, let's jump right in and talk about his elite pilot talent options first. The old go-to for Kavil here was Veteran Instincts. It comes in at 1 point, and it reads, increase your pilot skill value by 2. Now, that's definitely really good for Kavil because it puts him up at pilot skill 9, which puts him up there on par with Sunter Fell, Whisper, things like that. And if you have the initiative, that really helps him being able to potentially affect when your opponent gets to move, when they get to shoot, things like that. Against arc dodgers is really effective on Kavil. In particular, making them, if you give them the initiative and they have to shoot first and move first with an arc dodger, you can make them maneuver and not know where you're going. If you're going up against a Whisper and you take the initiative, you get to shoot Whisper with Kavil before she fires, which is before she recloaks. Before she recloaks, Kavil's rolling, if you're out of arc on her, 4 attack dice to her to evade when she's uncloaked. That's huge. Kavil's an absolute beast for taking down Whisper if he gets to shoot first. Sunter Fell's a little bit different story though, because he's going to have auto thrusters in front end. If he's not been damaged, he's got 4 evade dice. But Kavil's one of your best bets for trying to get through that and get that stealth off so the rest of your team can try and plink away at a Sunter Fell or something along those lines. Now, for my new build, I have steered away from Veteran Instincts, which hurts Kavil to a degree because he's now rocking that pilot skill 7. But I have swapped it out in favor of a Tiny Mind Link. Now, a Tiny Mind Link comes in at 1 point as well, so it doesn't adjust the build total too much. And it's Scum only, and it reads, each time you are assigned a focus or stress token, each other friendly ship with a Tiny Mind Link must also be assigned the same type of token if it does not already have one. This is absolutely huge. If you use this with a couple other ships with a Tiny Mind Link, Kato, for example, comes in to mind. You allow them to move first. So let's say Kato moves first before Kavil does. Kato takes a focus action. Kavil and Kato and any other ship with a Tiny Mind Link now gets a focus token. The other 2, other than Kato, or 1, however many running, get it because they do not already have one. Now, in this particular case, Kato goes first, takes a focus, gives Kavil and himself a focus. Kavil then moves later in the turn, and he can take a focus action of his own. So now Kavil's sitting on 2 focus tokens with a twin laser turret. Now, the other major benefit of a Tiny Mind Link, and we'll get to the twin laser turret in just a moment. The other major benefit is that if Kavil is stressed and someone else has Mind Link, they can still give him a focus token even when he otherwise was not able to take a focus action. So it helps with action economy, and it works that way for anybody on your team. So let's say, for example, your lower pilot skill, a Tiny Mind Link ship goes first, takes a focus action, all the other ships with a Tiny Mind Link get a focus, and let's say Kavil's got to take a red. Now, Kavil executes a red maneuver, all the other Tiny Mind Link ships get a stress because of it, but he's still got a focus on them that he otherwise would not have had, if not for a Tiny Mind Link. And the reverse is also true for trying to work with your stress. If Kato has to do a red maneuver, you know he's going to stress Kavil. Kavil then could take a green maneuver on his movement, clears the stress, then takes an action, and then gives a focus token to the other ship who was previously not able to take an action. Tiny Mind Link is great. It takes some finesse, but in this particular build, it scales really well with Twin Laser Turret, which will be the next upgrade we talk about. Twin Laser Turret comes in at 6 points, and it reads, attack. Perform this attack twice, even against a ship outside your firing arc. Remember when we said that he gets an extra dice outside his firing arc? There you go. If they're outside of his primary arc, he gets 4 attack dice. He still can only deal 1 damage each attack, but still 4 attack dice. Each time this attack hits, the defender suffers 1 damage, then cancel all dice results. So again, he only maxes out at 1 damage per attack. The key here, if you remember just a moment ago talking about a tiny mind link, if you combo it right, Kavil's sitting on 2 focus and he makes 2 attacks. Now, this is going to lead me into the next part of this build, which is absolutely ridiculous. If you haven't tried this yet, or you haven't tried the astromech I'm getting ready to talk about, do it and let me know what you think. It's awesome. So now, the final upgrade for Kavil is going to be the R4 aggro mech. Now, for most of you guys running twin laser turrets for Scum, you're probably used to using unhinged astromech because it makes all your 3 maneuvers green, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great upgrade and it gives a lot of green to the dial when you need it. But for Kavil in particular, if you're trying to pack a punch, the R4 aggro mech, it combos really well with the rest of this build. It synergizes. So he comes in at 2 points and he reads, when attacking, after you spend a focus token, you may acquire target lock on the defender. This is absolutely insane. So if you combo this right, Kavil will have 2 focus tokens with a twin laser turret. On the first volley of 4 dice, if you have to spend a focus on that, you get a free target lock. On the second shot, you have 4 attack dice, you still have 1 focus left, and you're sitting on a target lock. If you have to spend the target lock and then spend the focus, you get your target lock back, which is now usable the next turn if that ship is alive. And on that next turn, you guessed it, you're probably going to be sitting on 2 focus tokens anyway. The likelihood of hitting with double focus and a target lock that you can use on almost every attack Kavil makes is absolutely insane. Now, the caveat to this is, and it's the same problem most twin laser turret builds have, is if you can get inside range 1 on Kavil, he's in trouble. And because you're not running the astromech or unhinged astromech, you're lacking green on his dial, so you're going to have to run some fancy flying. But by running the mind link, assuming his wingmen are still alive with the tiny mind link going, if he's forced to take a red to get out of dodge so he doesn't get hit, he can still at least have that 1 focus from the tiny mind link from the other ships. And as long as he's got 1 focus, he can activate R4 aggro mech in conjunction with twin laser turret, and he's still got decent odds of hitting, even if he only has 1 focus. So what do you guys think? Have you tried this before? Are you new to the X-Wing and you want to try out a new build? Sound off below and let's get a discussion started. I'd like to know what you think. Are there other builds for Kavil that you've used? Something maybe similar to this that you've tweaked differently? Also let me know. Are there candidates for a tiny mind link that you like? Let me know. I like running Kato and Palab, which would be a Z95 and the Hawk. I like running both of those. You can also wiggle in a Seek Fighter. I believe it's the Pilot Skill 5 one. You can wiggle that in too. It's just what do you want to do? What are your guys' thoughts? Anyways, guys, if you haven't already, please take a moment to like and subscribe. Be sure to check us out on Facebook if you haven't given us a like over there. I do get paid to paint, so you'll be able to stay up to date with all my current promotions and commissions over there. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned for more, and as always, happy wargaming.